I'm Nellie. We at Fidelity Express want to do everything we can to ensure our agents' success, including preparing you for an independent audit of your anti-money laundering compliance program. Fidelity Express authorized delegates have a legal responsibility to maintain and enforce an AML compliance program that satisfies state and federal laws. Let's talk through the questions an independent auditor will be asking you about your program. All money service businesses, or MSBs, must register with FinCEN. If a store sells money orders, check cashing, wire transfer, currency exchange, or prepaid services, the business is considered an MSB. However, you do not have to register as an MSB if the only money services being conducted in your store are processed through a vendor such as Fidelity Express. We register you as an MSB with FinCEN for the services that are contracted to process through us. During an audit, the independent auditor will ask you, are you registered as an MSB for any money services being conducted in your store that are not being processed through a vendor like Fidelity Express? All MSBs must have an anti-money laundering compliance guide on site at all times. Fidelity Express provides all authorized delegates with a copy of the AML Compliance Guide. In addition to having the AML Compliance Guide available at all times, Sections 1 through 4 must be completed. The auditor will ask, do you have a copy of the written Anti-Money Laundering Compliance Guide? Please contact Fidelity Express immediately if you do not have a copy of the Compliance Guide or if you need help filling out Sections 1 through 4. Every employee must be familiar with the information located on the inside cover of the Anti-Money Laundering Compliance Guide. BSA stands for Bank Secrecy Act. AML is an abbreviation for anti-money laundering. CTR stands for Currency Transaction Report, and SAR is a Suspicious Activity Report. And finally, be familiar with the Money Order 3K log. The auditor will ask, are all of the employees familiar with and understand all of these terms? Please make sure all employees read and understand the inside cover of your Anti-Money Laundering Compliance Guide. All MSBs must have a designated compliance officer. The compliance officer is designated by the owner. It is normally the owner, manager, or whoever is most familiar with the AML program, as they will be responsible for enforcing the day-to-day compliance with all of the rules established by the Bank Secrecy Act. Write the name of the compliance officer on the inside cover of your AML guide. Do you have a designated compliance officer? And what is their name? All MSBs must have an independent auditor who conducts an annual audit or review of your AML compliance program. If this review is being conducted by a representative of Fidelity Express, that person will be considered your independent auditor. You must select your own auditor if this audit is being done without the help of a Fidelity Express representative. It can be anyone you choose, so long as it is not the same person designated as the compliance officer. The independent auditor is responsible for completing this document or audit once a year to confirm you have a compliance program and that it is being enforced. Write the name of the independent auditor on the inside cover of your AML guide. Do you have an independent auditor? And what is their name? All employees must be familiar with and understand all of the information on page 1 of your Anti-Money Laundering Compliance Guide. You cannot confirm the employees are fully trained until everyone who conducts MSB transactions in your location has read and understands page 1 of your AML Compliance Guide. Does the compliance officer and the independent auditor certify that all of the employees are fully trained? You must electronically file with FinCEN, the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, a currency transaction report, or CTR, for any transaction over $10,000. You must electronically file with FinCEN a Suspicious Activity Report, or SAR, for any suspicious transaction of $2,000 or more. It is not likely that you have submitted a SAR or CTR so long as you have always followed Fidelity Express's policies, including the $1,999 rule. Have you electronically filed any CTR'S or SAR'S for a money order transaction in the last 5 years? If yes, please send a copy of Fidelity Express and keep a secure copy for yourself for 5 years. It is a crime to share any information pertaining to a currency transaction report or suspicious activity report with anyone other than law enforcement or Fidelity Express. The auditor will ask, are all of the employees aware that it would be a crime to share any information pertaining to a currency transaction report or suspicious activity report with anyone but law enforcement or Fidelity Express? Some states require specific signage to be posted in MSB locations. If you are located in any of these states, you should have your state-mandated signs posted. The auditor will ask, do you have your state-mandated signs properly displayed? If you do not have the state-required sign, please contact Fidelity Express immediately and a replacement will be sent. Authorized delegates who process walk-in payments are required to protect all private information received from the consumer while processing payments through Fidelity Express. You are protecting the consumer's private information so long as you are following Fidelity Express policy and giving all bill stubs and checks back to the consumer at the point of sale. However, if you are keeping these documents, you must keep them in a secure location that can be locked. The auditor will ask, does the authorized delegate protect the private information received in the course of business as an agent of Fidelity Express? You are now prepared for an independent audit of your anti-money laundering compliance program. If you have any questions regarding AML policies and procedures, all of the information discussed in this video and more is available in your AML Compliance Policy Program Guide, or you may call our compliance team at this number. Thank you.